Hi guys! So, I've been thinking about Lawrence a lot lately. He's shipped out today and he should be here on Monday and I can't wait! Hopefully I will be home when they deliver him, though they tend to deliver earlier in the day, and I am going to be working at the zoo, so I don't know if I'll be home, but hopefully they will leave him by the door. It's shipping UPS, so hopefully they usually leave boxes on the doorstep, so I'm hoping maybe they will do that. And then I can just come home and play with him and be happy. So yeah, hopefully Saturday or Sunday I can buy the eyes from my friend, so at least he'll have some eyeballs, though I don't know what I'll do for him for hair for the moment, because I have none of the supplies to make him a wig and none of the funds to buy him one. Well, I mean, I probably could buy him a wig. I might wait though and see. Anyway, that's not what I was going to talk about. Well, I mean, I'm going to talk about Lawrence, but I wrote up a little thing, kind of a little mini story, paragraph. It's not a paragraph. Anyways, I wrote up a little thing about Lawrence, to give you guys an idea of his world. It doesn't I don't know, let me just read it to you. I can fill in the blanks later on. I'm still putting together all the bits and pieces of his story, but okay. In a country named Eleanor, there is a tree whose numerous blossoms bloom pink in the early spring months. She sits alone in a vast rolling moorland, her pink hue a startling contrast to the green and brown grasses that surround her for miles. Her only company is a man who sits at her trunk. On his lap lay a leather binder holding loose sheets of paper, one of which he is writing on intently. The man is young, not yet 18. His features are soft and sullen, and his eyes are bright blue. His hair is sandy brown with a slight curl. He wears a billowing muslin blouse with poet sleeves and ruffles on the collar and cuffs. His pants are short gray knickerbockers gathered at the knee. Quietly he writes, the scratching of his quill pen on the parchment and the rustle of the rosy blossoms are the only noise. He only pauses occasionally to look up at the sky as if to ponder his next sentence. Though his eyes are still sad, he is serene, at peace in his favorite spot in all the world. Over the hill a figure slowly emerges. It is another man, but this one is older and dressed elegantly. He is tall, muscular, and ruggedly handsome. Dark brown hair and gray eyes. He wears a silk blouse with puffed sleeves, over which is a dark blue velvety vest. The buttons on it are gold and ornate. His pants are black and straight-legged, with a crease down the center of each leg. His black leather shoes slightly dulled by his trek over the moor. "Lawrence!" he calls out. Our young man is startled and looks up from his task. "Oh, hello, Theodore," says Lawrence quietly. He watches Theodore march up to his tree-side haven. He stops in front of him and places his hands on his hips, panting slightly. "I thought I might find you up here." He glances around at the sprawling grassland, then down at Lawrence. "I see you are wearing your peasant clothes again," he says, slightly amused. Lawrence shifts awkwardly. "I like them. They are more comfortable." Theodore smiles warmly. "Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter when you're away out here." He pauses. "Tell me, what are you doing, brother?" "Oh, I'm just writing a letter to Mother." Lawrence glances down at him and shuffles his papers. "Ah," Theodore nods slightly. He hesitates a moment and then plops down next to his younger brother with a tired sigh. They both sit quietly for a few moments, enjoying the quiet and the smell of the blossoms. "It is very good of you to write to her so often. Martha tells me that she enjoys every one of your letters. She makes her read them over and over," Theodore says encouragingly. Lawrence smiles a little, and the sullenness lifts from his eyes for a moment. "I am glad," he says softly. "Perhaps during Saint's feast we can take a long holiday and visit her. We can go to town and buy her something. Lawrence brightens and looks at his brother. I would like that very much, if you won't be too busy, that is. I will have the chamber make time for it, Theodore says as he waves his hand dismissively. Just because I am king does not mean I cannot make time for you and mother. Lawrence smiles and sighs happily as he gazes out across the grassland. As they sit silently enjoying each other's company, a gloominess begins to overtake him. Brother, he says gently. Yes? He hesitates a moment. Do you think she will ever get better? Theodore sighs heavily. He is silent for a long while. The wind rustles the grass, and it looks like a great undulating sea. No, I do not, he says finally, his tone deep and somber. Lawrence sighs deeply. He slowly leans over and rests his head on Theodore's shoulder. Theodore wraps his arm around him, and they quietly hold each other as the wind blows through the tree, making the flowers flutter down around them like snowflakes. And so far, that's the beginning of our story. I almost cried. I very much like Lawrence. He's so moody and sad, and I like that. So, that's my Lawrence. And that's Theodore, who I was shopping around for. I was like, well, I gotta have my Theodore to go with my Lawrence, because it's really about both of them and about their journey together through political turmoil, which is sort of funny because I hate politics, and yet that's what this story is all about. Well, a lot of it. So, kind of funny. But, yeah, that's the beginning. I did talk more about him in a couple other videos, more about his past and how they got to this point. This is, later on, after Theodore is king. Obviously, he says so, but, I don't know. I mean, you can watch other videos. I hate to repeat myself, but, I love their story. I think it's really coming together really well, and, yeah. It's weird to write stories, because I haven't written a story. I mean, I wrote a short one recently, but I don't get inspired to write stories very often, and getting into BJDs really made me, think about it. Like, oh, well, if I have a doll, I should have a character, and he should, have a backstory. Though I don't know how much I'll do that. I mean, you don't have to obviously have a story or a character for your doll, but I don't know, it's kind of fun, and it's working different parts of my creative brain muscles, and it's been pretty nice. So, I'm excited, and I could probably ramble on about Lawrence forever, because I really like him. And I've also picked out a doll for Feline, who is going to be Lawrence's love interest. I've also picked out a doll for Arabella, who is the ghost, who I've talked about a lot. You guys know who Arabella is, but I've decided on a sculpt for her, all of which are soul dolls. I just really like them. I think they're beautiful, and hopefully their bodies will be awesome, though I like the pictures of them. Hopefully he'll be perfect. I hope that he's perfect. And that I will love him. I love looking at pictures of that sculpt, so hopefully he'll be as beautiful in the pictures I've looked at as in real life. So I better stop talking, because this is going to be a long video. So I will see you all later. Bye!